Let's finish up Matthew 7, 26 and 27 this morning, finishing this final section of Jesus' words on the Sermon on the Mount. And everyone, verse 26, who hears these words of mine and does not do them. Remember, be not just hearers of the word alone, James says, but what? A doer of the word. The proof is in the pudding, right? So if you hear it, you take it in. Even if you understand it, comprehend it, you have to be able to put it to work. So orthodoxy without orthopraxy doesn't really mean a whole lot. It just means you got a set of great ideas and a set of potential actions, but they're not actually coming to fruition. Whoever hears these words of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. So ignoring wisdom places you on sand in his metaphor of two foundations, right? Build your house on the rock, build it on the sand, you're on the sand, and the rain fell, the floods came, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. So life's going to happen. Stuff's going to pour down on you. And if you have a solid foundation, it'll endure. If you don't, it'll fall apart. And Jesus is giving a summary here of the Sermon on the Mount, saying, you're going to build on my words, all that I've spoken to you? Or are you actually going to do something? You're just going to sit here and nod your head and go, amen, brother, that's wonderful. Yes, amen. That's a good word, right? Or are you going to be the kind of person that builds on it? Your life will fall apart if you don't take seriously the Sermon on the Mount. We talked about a righteousness that exceeds the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees. We talked about issues of anger and lust and how you speak words and vows and how you value those things, and about worry and anxiety and all kinds of things through this whole time on these thoughts for the day about the Sermon on the Mount. It comes down to this. You go to Jesus for wisdom. You go to Jesus for wisdom because life is filled with flash floods. We live in an area here where if you get out in the desert, you know what a flash flood is. You hear about them on the news here in the state of Utah, wherever maybe you're outside this state and you're listening to these thoughts for the days, but you know what a flash flood is, right? And if you're building something on sand and a flash flood happens in a dry river basin, guess what? It's just washed away completely. It's gone because the momentum of the water, the storm surge that brings it will just wipe it out. Flash floods are coming in your life. You can't build when you see the waters coming. So you build today for what tomorrow, the day after that, and the day after that brings. You build tomorrow for what the day after and the day after that brings. You build in tomorrow's tomorrow for what the days after that and after that bring. Don't take your foot off the gas. The Sermon on the Mount is wisdom for you. Lean into it for God's glory.